cycle brand is proud of the 5,000-year-old heritage of our nation and has centered the company's mission and vision around the same. The Cycle Heritage Quiz is an endeavor in educating the future of India on our glorious past, our incredible architecture, our diverse culture, great works of our literary legends and artists, the courage of our warriors and freedom fighters, the rich contributions of our scientists, and many more aspects which make India a truly great nation. We now have the final for the Indore cluster, where participants from across Madhya Pradesh and Chhattisgarh have taken part. Let's meet our cluster finalists. First up, we have Snigdha Mohanty from the Krishna Public School, Raipur. Welcome, Snigdha.
Hello, sir.
And Snigdha, how was your experience taking part in the prelim rounds?
So it was my first time. I got to know a lot about our country's heritage and a lot of trivia.
Great, fantastic. And Snigdha, all the best today.
Thank you, sir.
Next up, we have from the Delhi Public School, Kolar Road, Bhopal, and it's Dhairya Garg. Dhairya, I think this is your second time taking part?
Yes, sir. It is my second
and
time.
Dhairya, how would you compare last year's prelims to this year's prelims?
Last year's prelims were a bit easier, and I got to know more facts about the quiz, about our heritage this year.
Okay, great. And the learning will continue in the cluster final
Yes.
as well. And hope you do really well. All the best.
Thank you, sir.
Next up, we have from the Oriental School, Bhopal. It is Aryan Kumar.
Yeah. Hello, sir.
Welcome, Aryan. And Aryan, my question to you is, so Madhya Pradesh, of course, has a rich heritage and culture. Any monument in Madhya Pradesh that you really like visiting?
Sachi.
Sachi Stupa. Okay, that's a great one. So all the best, Aryan. Hope you do really well.
Thank you, sir.
Next up, we have from the Jawaharlal Nehru School, we have Kabir Dubey.
Hello, sir.
So Kabir, talking about heritage, is there any particular heritage location in your city that you would recommend to the participants as well as the audience of the Cycle Heritage Quiz?
So I would recommend visiting the Jahanuma Masjid of Bhopal, as it's based around heritage only.
Great, fantastic, Kabir, and all the best for today.
Thank you, sir.
Next, we have from the Emerald Heights International School, Indore, we have Bhavya Sangvi. Welcome, Bhavya.
Hello, sir.
And Bhavya, is this your first time taking part in the Cycle Heritage Quiz or second time?
This is my second time. I had participated in the cluster finals previous year too, but sadly I was unable to go to the national finals.
Okay, and confident of doing better this time?
Yes, sir.
Fantastic. All the very best, Bhavya. Those were your cluster finalists. And we are now ready to start off with round number 1, and that is called Laksha Bheda. Let's take a look at the rules of round number 1, Laksha Bheda. 1 question per participant. This round does not pass. Each question has 4 options. Each participant gets 3 attempts, plus 15 if you answer correctly in the first attempt, plus 10 if you answer correctly in the second attempt, and plus 5 if you answer correctly in the third attempt. The first question is going to be for participant number 1, and that is Snigdha. Okay, Snigdha, your question coming up now. Man Mandir and Gujari Mahal are palaces within the premises of which fort built by Man Singh Tomar? Is it A, Golconda Fort, B, Chanderi Fort, C, Mehrangarh Fort, or D, Gwalior Fort?
Sir, is it C, Mehrangarh Fort?
Let's click on C, Mehrangarh Fort. Sorry, that's the wrong answer. Your next try.
Sir, D, Gwalior Fort.
Okay, Snigdha says D, Gwalior Fort. Good answer, Snigdha. You get 10 points. Well done. And we'll now move on to contestant 2, and that is Dhairya. Dhairya, your question on screen now. Which district of Chhattisgarh has got geographical indication tags for its dokra work, wooden craft, and iron craft? Is it A, Bilaspur, B, Bastar, C, Durg, D, Kanker?
Option B, Bastar.
Okay, let's click on B, Bastar. Great answer, Dhairya. 15 points to you. That's a fabulous start. And we will now move on to contestant 3, and that is Aryan. Aryan, your question on screen now. The primary airport serving which of these cities is named after a ruler from the Paramara dynasty? Is it A, Indore, B, Mumbai, C, Bhopal, or D, Aurangabad?
A, Indore.
Let's click on A, Indore. That's not correct. Your next attempt.
Aurangabad.
Let's click on D, Aurangabad. Sorry, that's the wrong answer.
Bhopal.
Let's click on C, Bhopal. Absolutely, it's your city. This is the Raja Bhoj Airport, and this serves the city of Bhopal. Raja Bhoj was, of course, from the Paramara dynasty. So 5 points to you, Aryan. And next question is for Kabir. Kabir, your question on screen now. How do we better know Urdu poet Rahat Qureshi, who has also been a lyricist in movies? Is it A, Rahat Allahabadi, B, Rahat Akbarabadi, C, Rahat Indori, or D, Rahat Lucknowi?
C. Rahat Indori.
Let's click on C, Rahat Indori. Superb, Kabir. 15 points to you. Brilliant start. And we will now move on to our 5th contestant, that is Bhavya. Bhavya, your question on screen now. Padma Vibhushan awardee Tijan Bai is a famous exponent of which traditional performing art form? Is it A, Pandavani, B, Ghumar, C, Kathak, or D, Kuchipudi?
A, Pandavini.
Okay, let's click on A, Pandavani. Perfect answer, Bhavya. 15 more points to you. And well done. Great start so far at the Indore cluster final. Superb scoring. Let's move on to round number 2, that is Jigyasa. So in round number 2, let's look at the rules. 1 direct question per participant, passes clockwise, plus 10 for every correct answer, direct or on pass. And once more, we will start off with Snigdha. Snigdha, your question coming up now. As a 15-year-old freedom fighter, Chandrasekhar Tiwari was presented before the Parsi district magistrate, Justice MP Kharekar. The magistrate asked him his name. What did the young Chandrasekhar Tiwari reply?
Chandrasekhar Tiwari replied, his name was Azad. Azad. Chandrasekhar
Azad,
Azad.
absolutely. That's how the name Chandrasekhar Azad came about. Brilliant answer, Snigdha. You get 10 points. Very good scoring so far at Indore cluster final. We'll move on to contestant 2, and that is Dhairya. Dhairya, here is your question. Pandit Jawaharlal Nehru had once described him as a one-man planning commission, considering him as the brain behind India's industrial growth story. Who is this business personality?
J.R.D. Tata.
Not J.R.D. Tata. We will pass on to contestant 3, and that is Aryan.
Sir, pass.
Okay, Aryan passing to Kabir.
Is it G.D. Birla?
Not G.D. Birla. We'll pass on to contestant 5, and that is Bhavya.
So Jamshedji Tata.
Yes, it is Jamshedji Tata, not J.R.D. Tata. Of course, Jamshedji Tata was behind lots of initiatives, including educational initiatives like the IISC. So, Bhavya, you get 10 points. We will now have question number 3, and that is going to be for Aryan. Aryan, your question coming up on screen now. This famous social reformer headed the foundation committee of the Hindu College founded in 1870. This is now known as the Presidency University. In 1822, he founded the Anglo-Hindu School, followed 4 years later by the Vedanta College. He was given the title Raja by the Mughal Emperor Akbar II. Name this social reformer.
Pass.
Okay, you can attempt, there's no negative. But anyway, you have said pass, we'll have to pass you. We will move on to contestant 4. Yes, Kabir, go for it.
Raja Ram Mohan Roy.
Of course, Raja was the big clue. Raja Ram Mohan Rai is indeed the correct answer. 10 points to you, Kabir. And now the next direct question will be for you. Kabir, your question. Maharaja Jai Singh II constructed 5 major observatories. 4 of them were in Jaipur, Delhi, Varanasi, and Ujjain. The 5th one was demolished just before 1857. The 5th observatory was constructed at a place that featured prominently in the life of Lord Krishna. So where was the 5th observatory constructed?
Mathura.
Mathura. So Mathura, Jaipur, Delhi, Varanasi, and Ujjain were the 5 locations of the famous Jantar Mantar. Kabir, you are right. 10 more points to you. Very good scoring so far in the second round as well, especially from Kabir. We'll now move on to contestant 5, Bhavya. Here is your direct question coming up now. This famous ground hosted its first test match in 1975, starting from January 23rd between India and West Indies. It is named after a former president of the BCCI. Name this ground that has also hosted an ODI World Cup final.
Wankhede Stadium.
Wankhede Stadium, of course, ODI World Cup final was the big clue. Absolutely correct. 2011 ODI World Cup final at the Wankhede, MS Dhoni's famous 6. So, Bhavya, you get 10 points. With that, we come to the end of round number 2. It's time to take a look at the scoreboard. Scores after round number 2 are as follows. Snigdha is doing well. She's on 20 points. Next up, we have Dhairya with 15 points. Aryan with 5 points. But right now, tied for the top spot are Kabir and Bhavya, both with 35 points. The top 2 from the Indore cluster final will, of course, qualify for our national quarterfinals. So, all to play for as we move on to round number 3, and that is called Trishanku. In Trishanku, let's take a look at the rules. 1 question per participant. This round does not pass. 3 clues leading to something or someone, plus 15 for getting it in the first attempt, plus 10 for getting it in the second attempt, and plus 5 for getting it in the third attempt. This time we will reverse directions, so we will start with Bhavya. So Bhavya, here is your first clue. A famous train that ran between Delhi and Kolkata was named after this monument in Delhi.
So second clue.
Okay, let's move on to clue 2. The trials of a number of officers of the Indian National Army or Azad Hind Fauj happened here.
So Red Fort, Lal Killa.
Yes, Red Fort, the train that I was talking about was the Lal Killa Express. Absolutely right. Bhavya, you get 10 points. That's a good score. We will now move on to contestant 4, and that is Kabir. Kabir, your question. On screen now. This character from the Mahabharata was responsible for the abduction of the princesses from Kashi, Amba, Ambika, and Ambalika.
Bhishma Pitama.
Yes, Bhishma Pitama. Quick answer, confident answer, and that gives you 15 points. Great performance, Kabir. I think you move into the lead and have hit a half century. Fantastic. Let's move on to contestant number 3. Aryan, your first clue coming up now. The Brihadishwara temple at Tanjavur, Brihadishwara temple at Gangaikonda, Cholapuram, and Airavateshwara temple were all built during the reign of this dynasty.
Clue.
Next clue coming up. Prominent emperors of this dynasty include Raja Raja I, Rajendra I, Raja Dhiraja I, Rajendra II, Veera Rajendra, and Kulothunga.
Sir, Raja Bhus dynasty.
Okay, let's move on to the next clue. The movie Ponniyin Selvan is based on this dynasty.
Sir, don't know.
Okay, this should have been easy, very much in the news these days. Ponniyin Selvan is based on the Chola dynasty. The famous Chola dynasty, the first clue indicated the 3 great living Chola temples, which is of course a UNESCO World Heritage Site. Let's move on to contestant number 2, and that is Dhairya. Dhairya, here is your first clue. He was the second person after Sardar Vallabhbhai Patel to serve as Deputy Prime Minister.
So second clue.
Second clue coming up. This gentleman was the second chief minister of Bombay state, which was dissolved to form Maharashtra, holding the post from April 1952 to October 1956.
Is it Dr. Sarvepalli Radhakrishnan?
Not Sarvepalli Radhakrishnan. Let's move on to your last clue. He became Prime Minister of India in 1977 at the age of 81.
Morarji Desai.
Correct. It is Morarji Desai. 5 points to you, Dhairya, the oldest person to become Prime Minister of India. Good answering, Dhairya. And we will now move on to fifth question. And it's going to be for Snigdha. Snigdha, here is your first clue. The original name of this famous singer and actor was Abhash Kumar Ganguly.
Is it Kishore Kumar?
Fantastic, Snigdha. Great answer. Abhash Kumar Ganguly was the real name of Kishore Kumar. 15 points. Again, very, very good scoring at the Indore cluster final. It's time to take a look at the scores. Scores after round number 3 are as follows. Snigdha is doing really well and following our leaders very closely. Snigdha is on 35 points. Dhairya is on 20 points. Aryan is on 5 points right now. The leader is Kabir. He's hit a half century. He's on 50 points. And Bhavya is on 45 points. So 5 points separating 1 from 2. Then 10 more points separating 2 from 3. The top 2 are going to qualify for our national quarterfinal. Let's now move on to round 4, that is called Divya Drishti. Let's take a look at the rules for Divya Drishti. One direct question per participant. The quiz is one direct question per participant. This round is based on visuals. The round passes anti-clockwise, plus 10 for every correct answer, direct or on pass. This time, once more, we will start off with contestant 5, and that is Bhavya. Bhavya, your question coming up now. Name this ruler who defeated the forces of Peshwa Bajirao II in the Battle of Pune.
So pass.
Okay, we will pass on to contestant 4, and that is Kabir.
Is it Sambhaji?
Not Sambhaji, but that's a good guess. We will move on to contestant 3.
Sir, Chhatrapati Shivaji.
Not Shivaji. Another good guess. We will move on to contestant 2, and that is Dhairya.
Is it Malar Holkar?
Okay, that's a good try. That's a very good try, but very close, but not the correct answer. We will pass on to Snigdha.
Sir, is this Shivaji?
Not Shivaji. Someone already said Shivaji. This is Yashwant Rao Holkar. Dhairya, you were close, but can't give you the points. This is Yashwant Rao Holkar, not Malhar Rao Holkar. No points for anyone in this question. We'll now move on to contestant 4, and that is Kabir for your direct question. Kabir, your visual coming up on screen now. Okay, look at this visual carefully. Read the name. An international cricket stadium in which city is named after this landlord who was part of the Indian Rebellion of 1857.
Pass.
Okay, passing to contestant 3, and that is Aryan.
Sir, pass.
We will now move on to contestant 2, and that is Dhairya.
Sir, pass.
Okay, Dhairya also passes. Now we will move on to contestant 1, and that is Snigdha.
Sir, is it Raipur?
It is Raipur. Shahid V. Narayan Singh Stadium. Snigdha is from Krishna Public School, Raipur. She got this answer correct. Very well done. 10 points, and now that puts you in a very, very good position. And now we will move on to contestant 3 for your direct question, and that is Aryan. Aryan, here is your visual. Which city in Madhya Pradesh, known historically as Ratnapuri, has got a GI tag for this product?
Pass.
Okay, we will pass on to Dhairya.
Pass.
Passing on to Snigdha.
Sir, is it Indore?
Not Indore. We will pass on to our 5th contestant, and that is Bhavya.
Ujjain.
Not Ujjain. We'll pass on to contestant 4, and that is Kabir.
Ratlam.
Yes, Ratlam save or Ratlami save is what I was looking for. Ratlam is absolutely correct. 10 points, Kabir, and that's very, very important 10 points for you. And now we will move on to question number 4, and that is going to be for contestant 2, and that is Dhairya. Dhairya, your question. This is a state bird of a particular Indian state. So you just have to name the bird.
Asian flycatcher, also known as Dudraj.
Yes, absolutely correct. Asian paradise flycatcher or Asian flycatcher. I'll accept that. Good answer there, Dhairya. 10 points to you. Very good level of quizzing here at the Indore cluster final. The last question is a direct one for Snigdha. Snigdha, your visual coming up now. Snigdha, the crucial last question. This famous temple in Sirpur is named after which character from the Ramayana?
Sir, it is the Lakshman temple.
It is the Lakshman temple in Sirpur, says Snigdha very confidently. If she gets this correct, she'll move on to 55, sealed second spot in the Indore cluster final. And Snigdha, I have to tell you, you're right. Well done. 10 points to you. And you qualify with an answer of the very, very last question. So we now know who our 2 qualifiers are from the Indore cluster final of the Cycle Heritage Quiz 2022. So the final scores, once again, Snigdha 55. We have Dhairya, again, very, very well done. 4th spot, getting 30 points is very rare. A lot of cluster finals would have qualified for the next round, but well done, Dhairya. Aryan gets 5 points. Kabir gets top spot with 60 points. And commiserations to Bhavya. Bhavya, you were very, very good throughout this quiz. Probably the luck just did not go your way. So you end up with 45 points. Coming second with 55 points, it is Snigdha. And coming first, giving some quality answers from start to finish. Absolute example of pure confidence, and that is Kabir. With that, we come to the end of a very, very exciting Indore cluster final. Very few questions passed to the quizmasters. Most of the questions were answered by the participants, and Snigdha, Dhairya, Bhavya, Kabir, Aryan all came up with some good answers. And the quality and the confidence in this cluster was there for all to see. I'm sure all of you as the audience would have enjoyed. The qualifiers from this round are Snigdha and Kabir. Snigdha, in fact, qualified of the very, very last question. We'll now see you in the next cluster final. Till we meet again, stay safe, stay happy, stay curious.